Hey guys, and welcome back. So I did miss out on a video on Saturday, and I was doing some other project work, and then realized that I had to be out about 5 o'clock, so I didn't get a chance to put a video up, but it's Monday now, so should be back to normal schedule. I do have this interesting, going back to the electoral stuff again this week, but in a different department. So there will be a video tomorrow. I'll be doing the training for that tomorrow as well. And then I start Thursday, because here it's a public holiday on Wednesday. So Thursday will be the first test. I should be able to do one before starting the shift, and we'll see how it goes from there. But going back to texture, so what have I done? I've done a little bit. Today it started off looking something like this. So this is what it looked like at the end of the day. Well, without the scratches. I'll tell you about those later. So I grabbed a gold, just a brass texture off the internet, and I applied that, and it looks really cool, but it was too bright. And then I added another cloud layer to sort of bring it back to a goldy color. And then there are little things like I darkened some of the edges, and we're doing the chips now. Move some layers around. Pretty sure that's it. So we're just gonna. I drew on some little chips, but they're too small. So I'm just gonna make them bigger for today. Yeah, so on Saturday, I went out for like the first time in ages, to what I thought was just going to be a quiet sort of drinking, catching up sort of night. It ended up being the mate that invited me, his mate's birthday sort of gathering. So it did end up being a little bigger than planned, but it was still pretty good night. Somehow managed to crash somewhere in the city before going home the day after. So yeah, that kind of a night, as it were. Yeah, so that was part of the main reason there was no video on Saturday. But it's been good, because I really wasn't sure where I was going to go with the rest of this texture, but I think having those extra days off helped, so it sort of worked out somewhat. So yeah, so that was Saturday. Sunday was just recovery. Although, funny story, not really, but when I was coming home, caught the train, was catching the train back, and it got all the way through, the train got all the way through the city and out into our suburb area. What was it? So we got to a station called Dutton Park, and then there are a few more stations. There's literally 2 stations, but the stations are far enough apart that walking would be not impossible, but would just take forever. Um, and the signals went down at my station and the station after mine, but there was still one station in between. But apparently they couldn't take us to that station, so we got off the train because they were going to provide a bus that would take us the rest of the way. And then we were all waiting at the top, and then they called us back onto the train. We went all the way back into the city, and then by that time they'd fixed the signal lights, and then they brought us back as per usual on essentially the next train to leave. So yeah, that definitely didn't help me out, because all I wanted to do was get to sleep. But I ended up not sleeping anyway when I got home. Just try to do stuff to get a normal night's sleep. And now it's Monday, so yay for that, I guess. But yeah, so TransLink, not very happy with you ever, really, but especially not after that. So yeah, fair warning when using public transport, I guess. Well, as for like what's gonna happen with the vlogs, I might start building stuff to texture next, because this won't take too long to finish. And then I can get a turnaround of this. Still not sure on the chest, but at least this will get out. These might be too big, but we'll check in a minute. These ones definitely need to be bigger, because this is such a massive area. And so we'll just and all this is, just to explain, is a black layer, like black color. Well, it's slightly less. It's what, 21, all 21 RGB. So close to black, but not quite. And then it's got an overlay at 100% and shadowing and highlights and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, so this is pretty much going to be probably either the second last or last time you see this texture page. So I'll show it to you one more time just to make sure that I didn't add anything. But yeah, this is the pillar texture for one of the pillars anyway, that I've made for Full Metal Combat. So hopefully you've enjoyed watching the production of this, and hopefully you've also had a good Monday, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Alright, cheers guys.